Pascal Siakam with the Raptors. Bunch of teams that make some sense or have been rumored to him. The Warriors, the Pacers, the Kings, the Heat, the Nets, the Mavericks. Sam wrote this. This is a simple case of two parties having different incentives. It's understandable for Toronto to be reluctant to give Siakam a 4-year max, given he turns 30 in April and doesn't fit the team's age timeline. And then he went on to say, it's equally understandable for Siakam to view this as his last chance to cash in with a star-level salary. There'll be plenty of teams with the ability to give him a contract along those lines in free agency this summer. A team maybe like the Pistons would have a ton of money, especially after the moves they're making here. So Siakam, we've talked about him a lot here over the last couple of weeks. We're going to continue to talk about on this idea of like, where should he be traded? Should he be traded? What type of return he gets? Do you have any new thoughts or any new trade ideas for the Raptors to move Siakam?
New thought. I think the Golden State Warriors are at a point where they need to trade for a large wing, not just a tiny wing, a big wing who can defend. And so they are probably willing to give up everything that they can. But what is it? Are the Raptors gonna love it all?
So,
are they gonna enjoy that package? Are they gonna say this is less palatable than a skills challenge game at the All-Star game? Are they gonna get enough?
Okay, so the deal has to be, look, it can only be really a hypothetical Warriors-Raptors deal for Siakam. It either needs to be Wiggins. I cannot really imagine the Raptors being all that interested in him.
That would work financially, but yes,
yeah.
I agree with you.
So it's that, or it's Chris Paul, right? And his fat contract.
And a nice, juicy first-round pick. That's got to come with a pick.
And then Kuminga and or Moody. That's the. I mean, look, if the Raptors are trading Siakam, you have to assume they're hoping for one young prospect and maybe a pick.
Yeah.
Maybe they can't get that because of the contract situation that teams are saying, hey, we're not confident he'll sign with us, so we don't want to give up a whole lot. But I'm starting from that point that's what I would think Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster want. So does that intrigue you at all? Chris Paul, let's say Kuminga, and a pick.
Listen, I want Pascal to stay with the Raptors forever, and I think there's a chance of that. However, I think it is good for the teams that are selling that there aren't that many guys out there, and so the package will be pretty decent. I imagine that Masai is taking calls. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be taking calls because Siakam is the biggest difference maker here, but the way his contract is, it's basically he's got a no trade clause unless some team wants to roll the dice. Like you've heard the Pacers have been. I've seen rumors that the Pacers would still do the deal, not knowing if Siakam would sign with them, as long as they don't have to like throw in Jarris Walker or a first-round pick.
Or Mathurin, of course.
Yeah, exactly. They don't want to trade their young guys if they're not going to be able to keep the old guy they're trading for, which totally makes sense. That's why teams like the Warriors and the Mavericks make more sense as destinations for me, because I think that either of those teams would probably have a good chance of signing Siakam, and therefore, they're more likely to put a better prospect or a first-round pick into the deal, which surely is something that would interest Ujiri.
Yeah, I think the most realistic, I should say, trade package that the Raptors are maybe happy with, if you are moving off Siakam, and then the team getting Siakam are confident in re-signing him and what they're giving up to get him, is the Mavericks. I think a package of Tim Hardaway Jr., Richaun Holmes, Josh Green as like the key young prospect, and then maybe Omax Prosper, Canadian that was drafted. I haven't seen a lot, obviously, in the league. And then either a protected first-round pick or not for Siakam. I think there's something there. And I think Dallas would potentially do that move if they believe and feel very confident that Siakam is there for the long run and would sign. And then you have Luka, Siakam, and Kyrie as your sort of big three. What do you think about that one from either side?
I like the Omax inclusion. I love that's the hot sale.
Or something.
Yeah, I just, as I sort of said, the teams that are willing to go buy in would probably not have to give up enough for Pascal Siakam just because they don't know what the hell. They may just be getting Pascal Siakam for 4 months here, so how much they give up is a question. I know the Warriors, Pacers, Kings, Heat, Nets, and Mavs are listed. You always got to look for one of those teams that isn't listed. Mm-hmm. And I'm totally intrigued by the Philadelphia 76ers and what they do after they trade James Harden 4 picks and what Daryl Morey wants to do here as Joel Embiid goes into his free agency. Goes into his postseason after winning MVP. I just want to know if they're going to do it now or they're going to do it when free agency shows up, because Morey's got picks to give up. Maybe it's, reunite the Cameroonians of Pascal Siakam and Joel Embiid, or maybe it's go for DeJounte Murray. But the Sixers, I think, are quiet. They're quietly doing something back there.